We're here at Paerata Rise, subdivision developed just north of Pukekohe. The history of Paerata Rise really sits back in the Methodist Church in the ownership of Wesley College and this land that we're walking on now. So this is all dairy farmland that the Methodist Church ran as a working dairy farm, but they sort of had the foresight to realise that the value in it was as a residential subdivision, which was some pretty inspired thinking, and they spent a good part of 5 or 6 years, could even be longer, working through a plan change with Auckland Council. Woods weren't involved at that stage, but they got it through and they had it zoned for residential development. So at that time they were really looking for a consultant that could, had track record, I guess, in delivering urban development, and they came and talked to us. And fortunately enough, we were lucky enough to land the job with GDL, and we've been working with them now for the best part of 6-7 years. And look, there's probably another 16 or 17 years at least here, if things pan out as the way everyone imagines. So it's been a great job. With me is Chris Johnson, the Executive Director of Grafton Down Limited, which is the company that behind this great subdivision we've been involved in here. So Chris, I guess first up, just some of the history behind Grafton Down, your history with the land, the college, and how we kicked into gear out here at Paerata Rise.
Yeah. Well, we're developing about 300 hectares out here at Paerata. This land was formerly the Wesley College farmland. It was purchased back in 1915 by the Wesley College board at the time. We were able to, under the Auckland Super City, rezone the land into mixed zoning, and we cut dirt in 2018, and we're developing the town that you see behind us.
I guess some of the early challenges we had, I think infrastructure was one of the bigger ones.
Well, infrastructure was the key. We did not have water and wastewater in sight, and the nearest to wastewater was about 6.5 kilometres down the road in Pukekohe. So the key was running pipes down through to Pukekohe to be able to get our wastewater, and also linking up in Paerata for our potable water. So we were able to develop the key wastewater and water reservoir, so that enabled us to start our construction on our roads and our sections. Yeah, I think we have about 260 houses already, right. But with stage 5 has just opened in the construction, which is just up here behind us. So we'll have another 80 odd houses complete within the next 3-4 months.
So yeah, it's booming. And one of the big pluses with Paerata Rise and with GDL as the developer is that, you can see it through here, but we've kept a lot of open space and wetlands through a lot of the riparian, margins that we've retained. So that's a big plus. The place is littered with walkways and cycleways adjacent to watercourses. So it's a big plus for GDL and a point of difference. Yeah.
The environment has always been important to the Methodist Church and also important to local iwi. So actually protecting the waterways and going to that next level up, so that we do have the good riparian planting, we have the eels and the marine biology working right in the waterways is important to us. But we never wanted to be vanilla here. If a normal developer standard is here, we set our bar quite a bit higher. What's important for us in the Methodist Church is, in say 50 or 100 years time, when it's known that the Methodist Church has done this development, is that we did it right, we did it well. And the church will live on, and this will be part of the history of the church.
So there is a bit of water, not much left. Normally there's a stream running through here, but because it's been so dry, but all these little footbridges, the rock work that's going up the steps up the hill, that's all extras that GDL have put in here just off their own bat, to make the place more accessible, more enjoyable, rather than just, fully planted out or abandoned. So it's a real good big plus.
It's important for us for amenity for our residents. So as Mark was saying, walkways, tracks, they can get out there, they can be fit, they can be proud of their community.
Yeah, so this is Ross Island, and it's named after Ross Taylor. Ross is one of the driving forces behind GL and the outcomes that we have here. And we could have just abandoned this piece, but we've planted it out. created some pathways through it, a place to a seat to sit down and relax and just get away from it all. And you wouldn't know you're in the middle of a big subdivision. You can hide away here and feel like you're in the countryside, which is tremendous. You'll just scoot up here and have a look at some of the more recent developments going on.
One of the advantages of Paerata Rise is no house is the same. So when you come into an area, every house will look different and unique, and so you don't get the feel of that cookie cutter type development.
Yeah, and that was important with the build partners, you know, that they provided you. I mean, you know, it was a group of 5. It's expanded, hasn't it, now to...
Yeah, we've got 14 build partners
14 build partners, and there's that diversity that's important for us, eh? So yeah, look, it's good. It is nice. Especially when the sun's shining. Right, here we are in the playground and next to the cafe, which is an integral part of Paerata Rise. Chris, probably give us some insights as to, you know, the story behind the playground and the cafe and the, you know, what Geo are trying to create here.
Well, it's important when we're just farmland or at least cut dirt, trying to give the residents or people who wanted to be residents of Paerata Rise an idea of what this is going to look like. So the very first thing we did was our boulevard of show homes. This was on John and Lomu Drive, and the cafe. So prospective residents could come have a look at the show homes, then they could come have a cup of coffee, spend some time still in Paerata Rise pondering, you know, is this the right feel? And amenity is important to us, and having a decent playground for kids to play from the area, but also when parents are pondering, do I live here? You know, the kids are occupied where the adults can talk and say, yeah, this is a lovely place, we want to be here.
And the great story behind this is that GDL discussed this with council, didn't get very far, and then just went and built this infrastructure off its own back, you know, which is a tremendous, and the popularity is just amazing. Again, with the cafe, I think it's superseded expectations as to how popular it's been. You get people coming from kilometres around in the neighbourhood just to come into the cafe because there's nothing really in this part of town, well, it's not really town, the countryside, that's there for people, eh? It's tremendous.
But I'm also hearing people are coming from the other side of Auckland as a day trip because I've heard about this, they've heard about this playground and checking out. What is interesting also, you know, we're in the south of Auckland, but we've got people from the North Shore coming across, enjoying being out here and buying sections from us.
Outstanding. Outstanding, and I guess the other big thing that kicked off the gear further down John Lomu Drive is the new Paerata Primary School.
It's important education,
yeah.
And so what we've done is we've relocated the old Paerata Primary School, which was an ageing school in Paerata itself, about 3 kilometres down the road, to a brand new Paerata Primary School just up here. A lovely building that ultimately could accommodate for 700 students.
And so when you think about it, and look, this has just come to mind now, you know, we've got the playground here, we've got the daycare centre right next door now, we've got a primary school down the road, and a secondary school just at the top of the school at the road.
Yeah.
I mean, this is Education City. Yeah, so look, it's tremendous, and it's been a pleasure to be working part of this project too, Chris.
Yeah.
You know, it's not every day we get a client who's got a 50-year outlook on the outcomes, so that certainly changes the perspective for us. I know our guys enjoy working out here, and the level that GDL build to certainly makes it, you know, being the bar a bit higher, makes the job that much more enjoyable to be part of. So, you know, it's been a tremendous journey so far.
And of course it's to you as engineers, because this development is not vanilla. We would never be vanilla. No. And so putting those expectations on our engineers to say, right, put it just to that next level up, and your team has been good and great to work with.
Well, they love it, yeah, no, it's good. So, you know, it's a win-win. So all of this was built in the first couple of years. And this is all fully built out houses, residents. You know, we were in the playground just here. We're looking at the primary school, which is up over here. All this has been built on now, and all the way up there, stage 8's being built on. So, and the earthworks over here to the east. So yeah, it's all, and this is just a small fraction of the whole of the development. This is probably, well, this in front of us wouldn't even be a fifth of the development area at Wesley. So it's a long way to go. 5,000 houses at the end of the day. So, you know, we've just cracked 1,000 now. That's consents. You know, we won't have 1,000 houses for another couple of years, but Yeah, it's a long game, but it's a lot of fun. 4 or 5 years ago, and if we just pan over here to the east, that's what it looked like 5 or 6 years ago when we were earthworking this area. So you can see the transformation is amazing from a raw earthwork site through to a fully developed living subdivision. To make it work, you know, obviously we've got to put roads that aren't too steep. So there's quite a bit of cut that comes off the higher ground, so you can see we've cut to there and we're stepping up around these houses. Once those houses get removed, the grade will carry on up to the high point, which is up past that red roofed house, but that'll be graded evenly through. Then we've got all our connections back and across a ridge over there, and that's, you know, another version of this. Again, it's all nice north facing and rural vistas, which is pretty good because this is zoned residential, but beyond us is all still zoned rural, so you're still out in the countryside even though it's a residential little enclave. So it's a very popular spot. So it's co-ed now, you know, it used to just be a boys' school. The college have been a great help as well. They've done the art classes in the college come and paint the transformers. They look really good with different styles of art. They've helped with the landscaping and cleaning out the weeds, so it's been quite good to involve the college in part of the process as well. So it's been good. Great client, a great product, and like any job, we have our challenges with getting things through, but that's just the field we work in. We've got the Resource Management Act, we've got council rules, we have to comply, but at the same time we're trying to turn out something that's a little bit above par, so, well, a long way above par, and it's great having GDL on board to do that with us. Sometimes it makes the job a bit harder, sometimes it makes it a bit easier, but look, it's a lot of fun, and yeah, and it's a great result. You know, the place is buzzing, the community love it, and yeah, we love working here.